Hello. Hmm. How are you? Uh, my name is Charles Bear, Charles Webster Bear, and today is December 29th, 2020, and I'm in Redmond, Oregon, USA. And my website is globalinternetgovernment.com. And today I'm going to talk about depopulationism. Now, I've been talking about depopulationism for over 35 years. And I'll continue to talk about depopulationism for the rest of my life because it's the only subject I find interesting and relevant. Hmm. Depopulationism is an idea created by the Chinese government in the 1980s. It's also known as the one woman, one child policy. And depopulationists like myself would like to create a significant and immediate and sustained decline in the number of people on the planet Earth. Depopulationists like myself believe that it's illegal and immoral for anybody on the planet to reproduce more than once in this millennium. Uh, what we want to do with depopulationism is to reduce the number of people on the planet until the number of people on the planet is at a sustainable level. And this is a number for future generations to determine. I'm going to guess it's around 2 or 3 billion people. And this will allow for the environment to heal, and this will allow for trees to grow back. And then in the future, when people want to breathe oxygen, they'll be able to do that because there'll be enough trees to create enough oxygen for people to breathe, and then we won't all suffocate to death. And that's a good thing. So right now, the number of people on the planet is increasing, and that's the wrong direction. That's a suicide course. And so we need to get go in the right direction, which is decreasing. And the one woman, one child policy is the only fair and rational way to go about doing this. It's the only civilized way to do this. And so basically, the bottom line is that the human beings are killing planet Earth, and that we don't have the right to do that. We don't have the right to kill the environment. We don't have the right to threaten the environment. But that's what we're doing, and it's wrong. So we need to stop now while we still have an opportunity to save the planet. We need to save the planet now while we can. We need to back away from the cliff, and that's depopulationism. It's not very complicated. It's actually very simple. I'm not exactly sure why people haven't figured this out yet. The Chinese, of course, figured this out in the 80s. I figured this out in the 80s. And, the rest of the planet should have got on this in the 90s. But, we're way, way behind schedule at this point. Um, So that's depopulationism. It's basically my religion. Um, you know, so we need to save the planet. We need to do it now. And the only way we can do it is with depopulationism. So depopulationism is the goal. That's what we're trying to achieve as intelligent beings. So how do we achieve that goal? Well, we can ask everybody to, not reproduce a second time. And if that works, great. If that doesn't work, we can go to plan B. And plan B is GIG, Global Internet Government. I created GIG in the year 2000. GIG's a world government. And GIG's going to unite the human race politically and economically. GIG's the world government. GIG provides all human beings with a platform to contribute to and participate in the world government. So GIG allows everybody to be involved with the world government. It's interactive. And GIG allows everybody to understand what's happening with the world government and to, give their opinions on what's going on as well. GIG's going to unite the world politically and economically. GIG's going to unite the world politically by working with the United Nations to bring equality and democracy and freedom and reproductive rights to all human beings immediately. Reproductive rights means that all human beings have the right to total and free access to all forms of birth control, including abortion. Any government that does not completely support this 100% is an illegitimate government and will be replaced quickly and peacefully by a legitimate government. So GIG is going to help the United Nations unite the world politically with freedom and equality and democracy and reproductive rights. GIG's going to work with the International Monetary Fund to help unite the world financially and economically with transparency and balanced budget amendments, trade agreements, regional currencies. GIG is going to monitor every financial transaction by every government on the planet Earth. GIG is going to make every financial transaction by every government on the planet Earth public, online, immediately. And that way everybody can see where all the money's going, who's getting it, how much they're getting, what they're doing with it, when they're getting it, why they're getting it, who they're giving it to, when they're giving it to them, how much they're giving away, etc., blah, 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 etc., etc. 100% transparent. So that's how GIG's going to unite the world politically and economically. And GIG's going to give everyone a voice. GIG's going to allow everybody to be a vocal participant in this world government. So I've been talking about depopulationism for 35 years. I've been talking about GIG for 20 years. And I've been talking about FogBank for a couple weeks now. And FogBank is the third thing I want to discuss today. And that's my cyber currency. I created FogBank last year. FogBank is my cyber currency. FogBank has one unit of currency, and that is the FogBuck. FOGBUK. Plural FogBucks, FOGBUX. And anybody can buy as many FogBucks as they want for 1 penny each. The value of a FogBuck will fluctuate anywhere from 0 to as high as it goes and then back down to zero, and then back up to as high as it goes, and back and forth. So the value of a fog buck can be, whatever it is currently, up, down, this, that. The value of a fog buck can be zero. The value of a fog buck is currently zero. The value of a fog buck may stay zero. The value of a fog buck may go back down to zero. So that's the nature of cyber currency. So anyway, there's also something called a fog BIC. FOGBIK, plural fog BICs, FOGBIX. The value of a fog BIC and the value of a fog buck is exactly the same. It's exactly the same value. The exact same value. A fog buck is something that somebody purchases from Fogbank for 1 penny each. A fog BIC is something that Fogbank gives away to people. Fogbank is going to give 10,000 fog BICs to everybody on the planet. You're welcome. Fogbank can suspend and or terminate any fog BIC at any time, anywhere, for any reason or for no reason at all. Now, every fog buck has its own individual fog buck number. Every fog BIC has its own individual fog BIC number. Every Fogbank user has their own individual Fogbank user number. Every Fogbank transaction has its own individual Fogbank transaction number. Every fog BIC and fog buck and Fogbank user and Fogbank transaction is going to be accounted for online, publicly, transparently, completely, immediately. And that way, this whole deal is 100% transparent. Everybody, everywhere can always see exactly where all the fog bucks are, where all the fog BICs are, who's got them, where they got them, what they did with them. The entire history of every unit of currency in Fogbank is 100% transparent, and everybody can know exactly where all the fog bucks and fog banks are, where they've been, and 100% transparent at all the time. And that's Fogbank. So we've discussed the most important and only relevant issue for this millennium, depopulationism. We've discussed how we're going to achieve that as a species, global internet government, GIG. We've discussed Fogbank, the future of money. And now we're going to discuss me. Charles Webster Barrett. So who am I? I'm a guy, 51 years old, never been married, don't have any kids. I'm a Buddhist. I'm an agnostic. I was born and raised in Santa Cruz, California. Went to high school in Newport, Rhode Island. 1994, I graduated from the University of Hawaii at Hilo on the Big Island of Hawaii. 1995, I moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico. 1999, I moved to Portland, Oregon. 2000, I created GIG. 2007, I moved to Bend, Oregon. 2014, I moved to China. Stayed in China for 3 years. 2017, moved back to Bend. 2019, moved to Redmond. Now it's 2020. a couple days it'll be 2021. That's me. That's who I am. I've got a few political campaigns coming up. I'm a libertarian. I'm running for mayor of Redmond, Oregon in 22. I'm running for president of the United States of America in 24 and 28 as a libertarian and as a depopulationist. Libertarian means that I'm for more freedom and less government. Libertarian means I'm fiscally conservative and socially liberal. Libertarian means I take all the good stuff from the Republicans, less government, and I take all the good stuff from the Democrats, more freedom, and I put them together. And that's libertarianism. So, please vote for me. I am for the legalization of all drugs. I'm for the legalization of suicide. I'm for the death penalty, Texas style. I'm for negative immigration, which means I think the number of people leaving the country should be greater than the number of people entering the country. I'm for isolationism, which means I believe that America should not get involved in the other world's problems unless the UN says it's okay and unless the other nations of the region are willing to do most of the financial and military work. So, I think America can save the planet. I've always felt that way. I've always thought America can save the planet. And I think we need to get started. I think we need to hurry up. I think we need to do it now while we can rather than wait around. And I've always been thought that. I've always been saying that. I'm still thinking, I'm still saying that. So it's time. It's time for Americans to lead the world by example. And that means depopulationism. It's time for Americans, and especially Oregonians, to stand up and save the planet right now. And I've just explained how to do that. I've spent the last 35 years explaining how to do that. And I'll continue to explain how to do that. So please, let's do that. I mean, I guess I'm asking nicely. I mean, why not? You know, what's, what's this waiting around stuff? Anyway, that's my video. That's my live stream. And that's what I gotta say, man. So please share this video on social media and please make your own video talking about this stuff. Only vote for depopulationists and run as a depopulationist and make your own video talking about these issues. Get involved. Get involved. This is, everybody needs to get on this. We all need to work to save the planet together as a team. So let's do it. All right, peace. Have a great day. Have a great year. Have a great 21. Adios. See you later. Oh, these are my paintings. I hope you like my paintings. I'll paint you one if you want me to. Just give me a call and I'll send you a painting. This is that's a hurricane and a galaxy. And then that's the sun, and then that's the Big Island of Hawaii. And then that's a surfer. And then that's New Mexico.